tease, man. I was looking at that Lamar. So we got a comment from
I mean, it was awesome.
Okay. Coming from a Cowboy fan. The media comments, the contract drama, I'm just tired of it, Jerry. You bought the team in 89 for 140. What they worth now? 12.8 billion. And you mean to tell me you can't get a deal done with Micah Parsons? Talking about a handshake.
Micah coming to Baltimore.
Agents.
One thing that's very pivotal to the game that's kind of been forgotten about, but they're trying to bring it back. The midi.
Yeah.
You either dunking or you shooting a three, right? But you forget having a mid-range is very intricate to the game.
You see, they doing that thing. They driving trucks, man. They ain't afraid of nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I watch, and women just, they take care of stuff. Yeah, that's been sometimes trash stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're trash the truck, bro.
Speaking on my Ravens, you feel me? The average person don't have that memory that I have.
So if I'm making $80 million a year and you making $10 million a year, I'm kind of reluctant to listen to what you got to say.
Bmore Sports Talk, the best damn talk show on the internet. Only on the BmorePod network.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome back to Bmore Sports Talk, the official podcast of the home team. I am your host, Eric, and I'm here today with my co-host.
What up, everybody? Trey for 3 here once again.
What's up?
For those who don't know, you can find me, as always, on my handles, Trey, T-R-E, the number 4, and then the number 3 spelled out, so Trey43. Find me there. It's on the screen. That's on my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter. You can find me on all those where I talk all things sports and a bit of pop culture too. I love my pop culture. So find me there. Find me here on Mondays. Pretty much every Monday moving forward.
Yeah. And I'm real quick before we get started, man, I'd like to give a big shout out to Tony, man. I'd like to thank Tony for his contributions to Bmore Sports Talk. And I wish him the best in his future endeavors. I appreciate everything you provided to Bmore Sports Talk.
100, man. Tony, that's a dude that I always seem to be on the same wavelength with. So I'm always rocking my boy Tony, man. Best of luck in your endeavors.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely bring him back on in a guest in the future, probably for football seasons. He loved them Ravens, so I'm sure we'll have to bring him.
As he should.
Yeah, man. So how was your weekend?
Man, I had a good one. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, man. Happy belated Father's Day here the day after Father's Day. I had a good one myself, spent it with my little girl and my father. Also got to spend a little bit of time with my grandfather too. So had us a good time, some good eats, good times with the family, and some relaxation. So all in all, pretty much the ideal Father's Day for me, man.
Okay. That's what's up. Yeah, I just relaxed, cooked out on the grill.
Yes, sir.
Caught some baseball. Caught up on some shows I'm watching. That's pretty much it. Yep. Congrats to your team, by the way, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the Mountaineers, man. They almost made it all the way, but they made it far enough for me to be proud. For the first time in program history, the West Virginia Mountaineer men's college baseball team made it to the College World Series, so made it through the initial postseason tournament and into the College World Series in Omaha, and made it all the way to the semifinals, where they unfortunately fell to the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. But like I said, first time in the World Series in program history, also got their first win in program history against Troy in the College World Series, and then beat Troy a second time after losing to UNC and dropping to the elimination bracket, which got them a rematch against UNC, which they unfortunately lost. And ultimately, it came down to the 7th inning of that first matchup against UNC, where they had, I think they went into the bottom of the 7th. I think it was tied 3-3 or 2-2, something like that. Like it was a tie game, and Mountaineers unfortunately had 2 costly errors, pretty much back to back in the 7th inning. And UNC was able to capitalize on runs there, and that was all she wrote.
Wow. Hey, production, if y'all can throw the thumbnail up there, let the viewers see the final score of that Mountaineer.
I think the one that we're gonna throw up here is from their first game.
Oh, that's from the first game?
Yeah, against Troy. So the one they actually won that, you know, so they made it to the World Series for the first time in program history, and then got their first win in program history.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was one of only 2 wins, and both wins came against the one team, Troy. But hey, like I said, they made it to the semifinals and fell short. So to make it to the semifinals, your first trip there, like I said, again, like when I first mentioned them, this is a program that was on the verge of being disbanded 14 years ago.
Right.
So to now be here is definitely, you know, something to hang your cap on. And they're bringing a lot of guys back from this season. So, you know, we got some high expectations for once, and, you know, a lot of positivity and optimism around this team going into next season. So shout out to the Mountaineers. Country Roads, take us home.
Shout out to them. Congrats, man. That's what's up. Shout out to the Mountaineers. Let's go, man. Well, let's get into some the parade recap. The Knicks parade was that Thursday. And I think they said that over 2 million people attended.
I believe it. I mean, they said they were expecting millions. They had I think they had over 100,000 police officers on hand or something like that. Like, it was a crazy number. So like I mean, given the videos and footage and stuff that I've seen from the parade, I don't even know if that was enough officers, because, like, man, all types of stuff was happening.
All types.
The Knicks themed trash cans, as predicted, they did get stolen.
Yeah, you know, right. I saw a video where someone dumped a
literally dumping the trash out the trash can and take the trash can home with them.
Because the theme colors, it was matching their fit. It was like, I gotta take this with me.
But I mean, it's what you would expect from the New York Knicks, you know, from the city of New York, you know. When New York wins a championship, they celebrate, you know, and it's just so many of them that, you know, it's going to be a celebration like no other. Like
53-year drought.
Yeah, right. Over for such a storied franchise. You remember how I was building it up during the right at the we were around like game 2 of the series. I think last time I was on, we were talking about the finals.
You're right. It was game 2.
And I was talking about how historic and how big of a moment this was for the Knicks and for the city of New York.
Yes.
Them being, you know, like they're such a storied franchise, you know, so to have been in such a drought, one of the longest in American sports, that was definitely something, you know, to get out of that. And so 2 million people is not surprising to me, given who we're talking about in the context of the situation.
Right.
So,
and Trey,
shout out to the Knicks, man.
And Trey, I heard people was lined up the night before to try to get a spot.
Yeah.
And, I've seen so much videos. I actually did get a video that we're going to show that just shows a lot of the crowd. Y'all go ahead and run it, because it's pretty.
It was madness.
Yeah, it's real madness. That was crazy.
Like I said, exactly what
that was just one vid.
Right, yeah. I mean, people hanging from ledges, on signs, stop signs, business signs, hanging out of windows. And it's like exactly what you would expect from New York. Like they I mean, remember how epic the Cleveland parade looked when Cleveland won their first franchise, their first finals? Like, that's exactly what I expected from this and got it. So it was like it was definitely something to witness, and how I was tempted. I mean, I'm not even a guy for big crowds anymore, especially not 2 million deep. But I was tempted. I was like, man, maybe I should go see.
If I was still in Connecticut, I might have slid up there, but I might have regretted at the same time.
Honestly, but it was definitely a moment. So again, shout out to New York, shout out to the Knicks, the city and the team for this championship in this moment. Definitely living it, definitely basking in 53-year drought. Like, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell me nothing for a while. Like, hey, we champs again.
Right.
Like, you know, like you can say whatever you want. Like the
Yeah.
Knicks back, you know.
Right.
So shout out to them. Hopefully it doesn't last too long though. Hopefully my Boston Celtics have something to say about
man,
it. And hopefully it's because they win the Giannis sweepstakes.
Yeah,
so
right.
that's what we're hoping on right now.
Right.
Is that a good segue? Should we pivot into that, or you want to talk about something else?
Yeah,
first?
yeah, we actually could. NBA draft is tomorrow, but there's actually a lot going on before the draft. Giannis could be traded before the draft.
They're saying it could be coming before the draft. The draft is tomorrow. It's been announced that is all but officially announced that it's down to two teams: the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. For the Giannis sweepstakes.
Let me just make sure nothing happened because we talking about
because it literally could be like any moment thing at this point. So it is expected to happen before the draft, which is like E said, tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow Wednesday, and that's at the Barclays.
And as a Celtics fan, especially given the way that this season went, especially this postseason, and I've always been a big Jaylen Brown guy. I just think that he has an ego, which a lot of players have, and a lot of them are entitled to.
Yeah.
But I think that ego combined with his first real taste of being the number one option on the team, I think that kind of has gotten to his head a bit. And while I think he can be the number one option somewhere, I think that he had a great thing. I think it's more of a grass isn't always greener kind of situation for him, because I think he had a good thing in Boston with Jason Tatum to not have the expectations to be the sole guy where all the blame goes to when something goes wrong, to have a real running mate, a real co-host, you know, and you run and be like, hey, you know, we this ain't Batman and Robin, it's more like Batman and Superman, like we're two heroes in our own right, and we can come into a scene and coexist. But I think that the ego kind of got the best of him, and seeing what he could be, him seeing what he could be for pretty much a whole season without Jason Tatum. Because, man, watching the playoffs this year, it just really didn't look like the same Jaylen Brown was out there. And it just felt like it was because of – I know he was dealing with the whole he was dealing with a knee issue. I want to say his meniscus maybe that he was dealing with. It was either that or was Achilles. But he was dealing with something fairly serious as far as like inflammation of those areas. So it's not something that you want to play with too much as far as like be haphazard with. But still, it was like he just didn't seem like he was the same guy out there from like a team standpoint. Like the chemistry didn't seem like it was there. And I don't think that 60 games without Jason Tatum after playing 5, 6, 7 years together is enough time to just lose your chemistry. So I think it is best at this point, for him to go get his number one option somewhere else. And it'll be really curious to see what becomes of Giannis and Jason Tatum, because that's now a duo where, pretty much everyone would say that Giannis is the clearly better player. But Jason Tatum is, pretty much an MVP candidate in his own right. He kind of sits just outside the conversation for MVP. The foreigners kind of got the MVP conversation on lock right now between Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, and SGA. They kind of got the MVP conversation on lock. But right outside of that, 5, the 5 through 10 is the American guys like Jason Tatum. So it's curious to see how that dynamic will be, and how much of a backseat, if any, Jason Tatum has to take the Giannis, and how, what that looks like if and when the chemistry develops. So if we win the sweepstakes, I will be very excited, because I think that as long as you don't give up much outside of Jaylen Brown as far as current roster, I think that you're still a championship contender.
I was just about to say that, like, y'all are looking like the better team to get them, because Miami doesn't want to gut their whole team.
And they would have to. They don't have enough high caliber players. And I don't think they're willing to give up Bam.
I read that today. They're not. That's one of the players that they're not trying to give up at all.
But it's weird, because I think that, and I'm not huge into basketball, but I'm into it enough to really feel like Bam and Giannis on the same team. I don't know if I could see that given their play styles. I think that it would greatly diminish one of their roles, even though they're not exactly similar players at all. I think that their play styles don't necessarily mesh, especially for them both to be stars. Like, if Bam wasn't a superstar, if Bam was just a role player, then that's a different story. But Bam is Bam. Wilt, Bam, Kobe.
Bam dropped that 81 earlier.
So he right there. He in front of Kobe now. So I think that he's enough of a star in his own right for that chemistry to matter as far as play style. So I not just as a Celtics fan, as a fan of basketball, I do think it would be more interesting to see Giannis with Tatum versus a Giannis with Bam and the potential. Because I mean, given that they're not giving up Bam, I assume they're giving up guys like Tyler Hero and a lot of their starters and decent role players. So it'd be interesting to see either way. I'm excited to talk about this next week because, like we said, we are assumedly gonna be next week talking about the fact that Giannis was officially traded somewhere. News that should be dropping sometime within the next 24 hours or so. So I'm excited to talk about that next week and see what the future of the NBA is, not just for next season, but moving forward. Because Giannis is still, I mean, he's in his early 30s now, but given his size and play style, he can reasonably play for competitive basketball for like another 5 to 7 years or so. So it's curious to see what the future of the NBA looks like after this.
Yes. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. What's up, Flow Express? What's up, home team? Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Barbie Cat, happy Father's Day.
Yep, shout out to all the dads.
West Virginia, you progress, be encouraged. Thank you.
Yep, we are very encouraged up there in Morgantown, West Virginia, man. So shout out to them.
Yes. So other NBA news.
We have some big things
so last week, Trey declined his player option.
Trey Young,
only today to get the big news signing.
Yes, sir. So
it was
4 years.
4 years.
Yep, 4 years, $212 million for Trey Young with the Washington Wizards. So, like you said, he declined the player option last year. I mean, last week, which would have been, I think, like $48 million for the one season. So he declined that to then get a bigger payday, like you said, and a brand new contract, which is 4 years, $212 million, which puts him over $50 million a year. Versus the 48 that he would have got on the player option. So, it's not just a long-term payday for him. It's also in the short term this year, he gets like an extra $2-3 million.
And that's why he declined. I kind of figured that's what he was going to do, Trey. I was like, people was like, oh, well, he want to go somewhere else. No, he wanted to get more money in a longer length contract. You know?
I mean, I don't know what kind of guy Trey Young is as far as like his desire to be in a certain type of city. But I mean, DC isn't, a terrible place to be. Like, it's maybe not the biggest market for team wise, but it's a metropolitan area. I think, just being a young, a young guy in the league, I think that's not a bad spot for him. It's not a bad spot.
I don't think so at all.
Especially given the way that the front office in Washington seems to be moving these days. They got him, they got Anthony Davis, they have the #1 pick in tomorrow's draft.
They do. I hear it could be that AJ Dibonsta.
Yep, it could be him or it could be the other cat out of Kansas. But either way, I think that they set up a pretty good.
We actually have a mock draft. If y'all could go ahead and throw up the NBA draft. So we can go ahead and touch on that. So here we go. This is just a mock draft. Most likely he's going #1.
Yep. But the other guy that I've seen going there lately is Boozer. I think Boozer hurt his stock a little bit with the with the way they lost. Game,
right.
The way they got eliminated from the tournament kind of hurt his stock a little bit, but I still think that Boozer is definitely a top 5 player in the draft and should definitely go with it.
It's a lot of good talent in this year's draft. So I'm looking forward to the draft tomorrow. I'm always excited about the draft, and there's probably gonna be some other moves, some trades and stuff going on. So
especially with this potential trade boiling right now, there's going to be a lot of ramifications for that, especially given that one of these two teams are likely going to be giving up their first round pick in this year's draft. So that in and of itself will have an impact on how things shake out. And you see the Bucks are right there in the top 12 with a pick, and then potentially getting 1 or 2 more picks either via the Celtics or the Heat or maybe another team, because I've heard, especially with the Heat, that they're talking about that one might end up being a 3-team trade in order to better facilitate the value and stuff.
I think
because
like we said, Jazz possibly involved in that one.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yes. What's up? Bmore for real says, should the Lakers keep LeBron? That is a intriguing question because it's just hard to say. I mean, what do you think?
I think it comes down to a matter of financials at the end of the day. Because I mean, because Bron is still clearly a productive player.
Yeah.
Amazingly, he's very productive for his age,
Right.
in general and for his age, especially. And given that you already have two nice stars on the team, in Luka and Austin Reeves, it's like Bron isn't necessarily a necessity. He does feel more like a commodity to the Lakers because they could build a better cast around Reeves and Luka that can better support them two specifically.
Yeah.
Whereas the current team is still kind of a bit more formatted to Bron with a bit of Luka, but I do think that they need a bit of restructuring.
Yeah.
At some point within the next couple of years. It's just all a matter of what LeBron wants to do.
Right.
And I think that LeBron has done enough up to this point and has showed us that he can still do enough up to this point to be allowed the luxury to decide what he wants to do. So I do think the Lakers are kind of at his mercy a bit.
Right.
But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because, like I said, LeBron is still playing productive basketball. It's just that you have to be a bit more savvy with your business moves, given that it's your two stars and LeBron that you're building the rest of your roster around.
Facts.
So I think they should keep him. I think that he can be a productive player on a championship roster.
Yeah.
They just have to be a little savvy, make some good draft picks maybe, and build up the team properly around the three of them while still preparing for the departure of LeBron and his replacement.
I agree. Yeah, I feel like they should keep him as well. I mean, it's LeBron. He's still got a lot. I feel like he's still got a lot left of the tank. And he embraced that role last year. You know, being the third option. I mean, he became more of a facilitator. When he's driving, a lot of people look at and guard him, and he kicked the ball out and now leaves other guys open. So LeBron is always a great addition to have on your team. So I think they should definitely keep him. Like you said, it just really depends on the financials. So we shall see. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot going down the next coming weeks with the draft, and free agency is actually the week after that.
Yep.
So it's going to be very, very interesting.
It's a funky one, but yeah, it's going to be fun to see.
Hey, what's up, Shannon? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Did you hear about the reunion, the 2016 CAVS reunion? All the
I did.
Old teammates got together.
Yeah, well, almost all.
Right? Yeah, almost all. Right.
I think that's what made the news, right? Because the second best player on the team wasn't in attendance,
right?
And Kyrie Irving.
Right.
But I did catch it out. 10 years. It's crazy that it's been 10 years since then. I mean, I remember that moment. I remember how big of a series that was, of a moment that was. That was epic. I mean,
it was.
And to do that, to come back from down 3-1 against like a
juggernaut,
like they had the most winningest team in NBA history. Like they did that. The same team that but it's funny because, you know, people will say this, like, you know, Curry was dealing with an injury. I think Clay was dealing with an injury. But I mean, they were good enough to go up 3-1. I mean, and not only that, they were good enough to come back from down 3-1 against the Thunder.
Yeah, right.
Like, the Thunder were up 3-1 on them. That was the year that, you know, the postseason of infamy, pretty much. Like, that's what made KD join the Warriors, and that was LeBron getting that championship for Cleveland. So it's like, that was a big moment. And I think that it's definitely something to commemorate, you know, both as basketball fans and for the Cleveland Cavs, man. Their first franchise championship, like I mentioned earlier. And so to be 10 years off.
It's kind of similar to what the Knicks did a little, because like Cleveland had a long drought. You know what I mean?
Long drought as well, because they had never won one. And just like the epicness of it all, like I said, to come back from down 3-1 is like that in and of itself. Even if you won the finals the year before, if you come back from down 3-1 that year, that's something to brag about, you know. So to have done that and also win it for the first time ever in that fashion, definitely something to highlight. So, and
you know, that did spark debate on who would win the 2016 Cavs or the 2026 Knicks. J.R. Smith actually got a little short video talking about it. Let's go ahead and run that, and then we'll go ahead and elaborate on what we think about it.
Why do you think that the 2026 Knicks would beat the 2016 Cavs? Who is guarding Brunson? Who is guarding LeBron James? He said, who's guarding Brunson? Me. I'll guard him. Then we're going to put Shump on him. Then what? The little guy, number 2, who's guarding him? Who's guarding K-Love? Bro, if you don't knock it off, OG is guarding Bron. You see what happened the last time he did that. Stop it, bro. At every position, we mollywopping. What are you talking about, bro? It's not even a fair comparison. That's putting the boys in a bad situation, dog. Jose is locking shit.
Oh man, this sparked so much debate. We actually had to do a poll, and we'll give the results at the end of the show. We did a poll, who will win in a 7-game series, the 2016 Cavs or the 2026 Knicks. So we'll go ahead and review the results at the end. But me personally, I just think the Cavs would definitely win a 7-game series. I mean, they were just a tough team. I mean, Kyrie, like you said, who's going to guard LeBron in that era?
Yeah, who's going to guard LeBron? Who's going to guard Kyrie? Just like you said, like
Mikal Bridges is not stopping LeBron.
No. Like they don't have nobody on their team that can stop that era of LeBron.
Right?
No, they don't. I mean, they honestly probably would have to put like. No, I was about to say Cat, but like I think Cat got a guard. Well, no, Cat might have to guard her, and then you
Kevin
put
Love, and well, he would guard.
Yeah,
right?
I was about to say because I think I'd rather put OG on K-Love, given K-Love's stretch ability. Like, I mean, I like perimeter defense isn't really Cat's forte.
Nah.
So I think I'd rather put OG on K-Love and have Cat, but I mean, I think it'd take a max to class. I'm probably wrong. You probably do have to switch that. I think OG probably does have to guard LeBron, and Cat is just cooked against K-Love. But like, there's mismatches there to the point where it would take a coaching masterclass to really like even put yourself in the position to win. Kyrie and LeBron by themselves is just like.
Sheesh. It's an interesting question from Bmore for Real. It says, what NBA teams do you guys see as 1 or 2 solid players away from making some real noise?
That's a good
question. Can I go first on this one?
Go ahead.
I would say the Timberwolves, because I hear they're trying to get Ja Morant. If you get Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards in the backcourt, I feel like that's super dangerous. But I've always just felt like Minnesota is 1 or 2 pieces away from being a solid team.
I could feel that
to make a deep
just
run.
A couple years ago, they was right there. So I can see Minnesota being one of those teams for sure. I think that's a good shout.
Yeah, I say Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, even a team like we're talking about now. I don't know. Well, no, I think that's a bit much. I was about to say. The Wizards, given everything that they're building up, but I don't know about given the injury problems with AD and this, that, and the third. I think they might need a little bit more.
And I've been hearing AD possibly might be getting shopped around. Like I've been hearing that they're looking for trade packages. I don't know how true that is. I heard they could possibly be bringing them back to LA. I've been hearing that in the media, but like you said, around this time, there's always a bunch of rumors swirling.
Wow, that would be wild. That'll be interesting to see. But I think that was a good shout as far as who'd you say again? The
with the Timberwolves,
the Wolves,
the
Wolves. I think the Wolves. I think that's a good shout. Yeah, honestly, there's a couple other teams that are like kind of there. The Suns and there in the West as well. The Clippers. Potentially, like if we're talking about 1 or 2 pieces.
I feel like the Hornets too are like maybe 1 or 2 pieces.
Yeah, the Hornets,
they came on strong last year.
If the Hornets got themselves like a good veteran star, a good veteran role player, like a 6-man that was a vet. I think that'll be big for them. That's another good shout too. I think the Hornets are right there too. I always feel like the Celtics are there. I feel like the Celtics for the last 2 years have kind of just been short of big man.
Man, if y'all get Giannis, you gonna light up. You gonna be out of your body.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we gotta be favorites in the East at that point. Tatum, Giannis, who's stopping it? Who's stopping it? But we'll see. Like I said, we'll see if it happens. What that chemistry even looks like. I'm not doubting it per se, but I'm just saying that'll be interesting to see how that comes about.
Right.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to see. But yeah, so that's our answer.
Okay.
Our 2 teams there. We got the Wolves, which I think that was a good call. What we got?
And I said the Hornets. The Hornets. WNBA. They actually expanding their schedule to 50 games rather than 44. So
the league continues to grow.
Yes, because I'm hearing it's in high demand. They want to add to the schedule. So adding 50 more games next season is definitely what's up.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Shout out to the WNBA. They just passed that new CBA before the start of
Yeah.
the season.
Yep.
So now they're making much
Making
more
more,
money.
yep.
So I think like the dominoes are really starting to fall for them. Like they're really starting to gain speed. It's crazy how much, even though there was already that talented core there,
Mhm.
it's crazy how much the young talent that came into the league the last 2 years has injected it with such energy and a new group of fans. Like they've
Yeah.
reached into a new demographic,
Yes.
a new generation of fans. So and being able to bring that in while maintaining their already existing fan base has really become something special. Between Asia Wilson, Deanna Taurasi, Stewie, all those Ionesco, all those girls,
Right.
all those women, and the impact that they've had recently, and built on their four mothers as well. But to really have that set up and be in a place now where you have, like I said, a player like Asia Wilson, who's the face of the league, who's such a successful person as far as career accolades, and all the hype that comes around her, her relationship with a star player in the NBA and Bam, and then all the new players coming in, Caitlin,
Olivia
and all
Miles.
the farts that man. So it's
She's
just
balling.
shout out to the WNBA,
Yeah.
man. It feels like they are now in the sun. They're having their moment in the sun, and hopefully they run with it. Hopefully they can grow the league and really become a force in their own right, where they can stand tall as their own professional sports league, not even as an affiliate of the NBA. So shout out to them. Keep
Shout out
going,
to them,
ladies.
ladies.
Keep balling. Do y'all thing. Y'all time is now. Take advantage.
Shout out to the ladies. All right, let's move on to some World Cup news.
World Cup, yeah, man.
Yeah.
There's definitely some interesting stuff going on in the World Cup.
Right. And just a brief, because a lot of people probably don't notice, but the World Cup is every 4 years. So when it does come around, I mean, it's exciting. I mean, it brings people together.
It's the biggest sport in the world. Soccer is the biggest sport in the world. So I think that, and it's definitely good that you mentioned that, because it's great to highlight. It's important to highlight that, especially for us Americans, and how we can always have such an Americanized view on things. And we got that big main character energy, so we don't really be worrying too much about what goes on across the pond too much. But soccer is the biggest sport in the world, and that's why the World Cup is the biggest sporting event, pretty much like in the world. Like it's the World Cup rivals the Olympics. Like it's that big of an event. People will travel from all over to witness these games. Yep,
national pride. Emotional rituals. You see everybody with their jerseys. I mean, people in the bars and restaurants shouting, going crazy. Man, I mean, I've been to a couple of spots where people are just cheering on their team. Like the energy is just amazing.
Right. So definitely, for us Americans, I advise people and encourage people to go out to your local, to your closest World Cup match. Even if you don't attend the game itself, be in the city, go to a bar or, hang out outside the stadium and just experience the culture and the passion of other people, because they're literally in these host cities across the country. Because we didn't say the World Cup is being hosted in the United States of America this year. So in North America, not the United States of America. Games are being played in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. But there's several host cities in America. If you can get to your closest one, here in Baltimore, where we're based out of, the closest one for us, I believe, is the games in Philly. This game's being played in Philly and Jersey, at Rutherford, MetLife. If you can get out to your closest city and just experience the culture of these other people, and really it'll give you an appreciation and an understanding for how big the sport of soccer is, for football, for those outside of America. How big it truly is and how much it really matters to people outside the country.
Yeah.
And then to say all that, we have to acknowledge the fact that though it isn't our biggest sport, the United States of America, Team USA, is off to an amazing start this year at the World Cup.
Yes. They had back-to-back wins.
Yes, sir.
The first time in throw the thumbnail up there. I think 1930. I think it's like 90-something years, if I'm not mistaken. 96 years
since 1930. That's the first. That's the first time since 1930 that it won back-to-back games in the World Cup. And thankfully, those back-to-back wins, coupled with Turkey's loss, I forgot which other teams we beat Turkey. I think Paraguay beat Turkey. That loss of turkeys allow the U.S. to automatically advance out of the group stage
and we play
and
Thursday.
into the knockout 32 round. So
Yep.
shout out to the U.S. Amazing start. I think if I'm not mistaken that they do say that the hosts teams do usually get favorable schedules in this group phase.
Okay.
So that might be a bit of a conspiracy. But regardless, you know, we as a team and as a country, we've had our struggles in the field in the realm of soccer over the years, especially recently. So it's great to get off to this kind of start, to have those wins back to back. Like you said, first time in 96 years.
Right.
So shout out to Team USA. Hopefully they keep it up as they move on. I hear that there's
Team
a potential,
USA.
the way things are breaking down, the US could potentially be looking at a game against the UK played on the 4th of July.
You know how
in
crazy
Philadelphia
that would be? Oh my God.
Insane. My sister actually is the one that brought this up to me. So shout out to Madison if you're listening.
Shout out Madison.
But yeah, so like the way that that things are shaking out, it could potentially end up where the US plays the UK on Independence Day.
Man.
The day in which, you know, this is so symbolic of our separation from the UK, from Britain, to play them that day in Philadelphia, one of our most historic and storied cities that has so much to do with the revolution and with the founding of our country. So not only is it like such a huge game symbolically, it kind of like brings on instant bragging rights. Like we can't lose this game. It's like this is like the Revolutionary War Part 3. So you know we can't lose this one. You know they might try and take us back. Right. We might be colonies again if we lose this one. So
man, I hope that happens.
That would be epic. That would be a great moment in sports, regardless of the outcome. But hopefully, we beat the Redcoats again if and when that happens. But again, shout out to the Team USA, in the World Cup. They're doing their thing. We also had some other World Cup news, though, right?
Yeah, Messi.
Yeah, Lionel Messi. Like today, officially, because he came into today with 4 goals so far in this World Cup coming into today.
Mm-hmm.
He had 3 in one game and 1 in the second match, and then in his match today, scored another goal for his 5th goal of the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And that goal actually put him in sole possession.
16 or 17?
I think it's 17. His 17th goal put him in sole possession of first place all-time career goals scored in the World Cup. So Lionel Messi, the GOAT, is still doing GOAT things. I think he turns 39 next week or something like that. And he's still doing big things. So shout out to him. Shout out to his team, Argentina. But
safe to say he's what you call a generational talent.
Oh, right? Yeah, for sure.
With stuff he's doing, right?
Ronaldo, man. Yeah, definitely. So shout out to Messi. Definitely GOAT status.
Yes.
If you can, again, get a chance to view the GOAT, he currently plays for FC Miami.
Yeah.
So he, came across the pond and is playing games on American soil in the American Soccer League. So if you can ever make it down to Miami for one of his games, I think they're pretty pricey these days. But if you can check out the GOAT, go check out the GOAT.
Yep, that's what's up. All right, thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be right back. We're about to go run some clips, but we'll be right back at you. Thanks for tuning in to Bmore Sports Talk.
BmorePod is more than just a podcast. BmorePod Studios is an entire network.
We gonna have Michael Jackson back alive for GTA 6.
And speaking, let me just hop on the chat real quick. I see we got something that say Big Dana, not the little one. Hey sis, who that? So I got a game today that's kind of like let me I think I wrote a title for it today. Last week I had a title. This is this is quite easy. It's called Finish the Line 85 to 95 edition. All of y'all were alive during those years, weren't you? Between 85 and 95. Except for Dana. Everybody else was that's like you giving a Ferrari to a 16-year-old who just got his license.
I agree.
I want them to get the money, and they deserve the money. But at the end of the day, it's just like, now they just chasing the money. Now you got this
news came out today that he might miss more time because his knee is swelling. So if Durant is out, that definitely gives Lakers a little bit of an advantage, even with them missing people, because Durant is just star player on the team. So I feel like this can help the Lakers, and Luka could probably come back if they could extend this series.
BmorePod Studios. Subscribe today.
Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Let's move on to the NFL.
My favorite topic.
Man, Jeffrey Simmons, man, that was a big signing. 3-year extension.
Yes, sir. Became the first defensive tackle to sign a contract with $100 million guaranteed. So the first $100 million man guaranteed at D tackle. Shout out to Jeffrey Simmons. The deal also makes him the highest paid defensive tackle in the league. So
wow.
Shout out to him. He was a part of a crazy class of defensive tackles. Like, I was looking at it the other day. I could probably pull it up real quick. But like the defensive tackles that were in his draft class,
really,
like I'm talking about some real hitters in his. Like he was the last of them drafted in the first round.
That's
like,
wild.
But there was some dogs in his draft class.
Trey, it's crazy. The season's only 80 days away, y'all. 80 days away until football. Cannot wait, man. I just been counting down the days, just checking the sports center for any news, like see
training
what's going on.
Training camps, the mandatory mini
camp,
happening.
Right.
Training camps coming soon, and we're almost.
It's exciting,
there,
we're almost there, right? We're almost there. It's like once we get through July, August, that's when the preseason game starts.
Right.
So then we know we're close.
At that point, the season is here. I mean, like, what are we talking about? We're not talking football at that point,
right?
Hype isn't even the word. But.
As far as inside buzz with Cowboys, I just heard that Pickens is officially gonna be playing. So we won't have to worry about anything with him. And he said football first. I know a lot of people were saying he was gonna hold out or whatever.
Yeah, they were expecting the ego to come out some more. But shout out to him. You know?
So he said football first. Other than that, with my squad, I haven't really been hearing nothing. Everybody just really amped for the season. You know,
yes, sir. I mean, what else to expect?
Right,
we got that big game coming up in week 3. I can't stop talking about that.
I know.
Ravens in Brazil. You know, we get to play the Cowboys, who we always beat.
So
I'm not, you know, like
y'all going down this year though.
We're guaranteed to get a win in the first game played in Brazil. So like that's just awesome for us. I'm so happy for us. Like
guaranteed Cowboys will win. You mean right?
No,
I guaranteed that.
Come on, man. And
Cowboys.
We don't want them to think that you're not good for your word. You got to let them believe that your word
got
is good.
this, Trey,
so,
man. I'm
like,
trying to tell you, bro.
You can't be saying stuff like that, and they're not going to be able to take you seriously. Like I said, the
Cowboys week 3. All right, okay. I can't wait till week 3.
Me too. I'm gonna eat my words if we lose, but the way that losing is just not in the realm of possibilities for me when it comes to the Ravens playing the Cowboys. Like I'm
It should be interesting though, because we got different teams. I mean, we got new defensive coordinator. Y'all got new coach. So I mean, it's gonna be a showdown. I thought it's gonna be
it's definitely not something that you can really guarantee. The only reason I am is, like I said, and like when I went on a bit of my rant last time when I was talking about the Ravens and why I'm so confident in this, is like you have this, like, not even a core. The roster is pretty much intact. You know, you did lose a lot of guys in free agency, but it was like guys that were starting to come out, guys that like hadn't really broken out yet, that we were losing. Like we still have all the role players there. Like the core is still there, and then the staff that we're bringing in, at least the head coach and his head coach and 2 of his 3 coordinators have been in the system, and then part of what they've talked about is maintaining that standard. So I think that's the reason why I'm expecting more. I'm expecting them to. It's going to be a bumpy road, but I'm expecting to still hit that road running. I'm expecting to still hit the ground running. Yeah, we'll trip up here and there, but I like this is a team that I fully expect to be in the playoffs. Not making the playoffs in year 1 is a failure. Like, so, you know, that's why I have such confidence and why I speak the way I do about the team. But
I understand.
That's my reason in there. I don't think that is.
I feel like
fanatic talk. You know,
I feel like y'all can't get off to a start y'all got off to last year. Y'all got to a bad start. Well, I think y'all lost like your first 3 games. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, no.
Or was it 1 and y'all went 1 and 4?
1 and 2, 1 and 3. Okay. Yeah, something like that. But it was a bad start to the season, and it was a bit of a gauntlet, and we were able to bounce back from it, but it took too much. We had to go through too much. And given the expectations that team had going into the season, it was unacceptable. You know, so that was the real issue. It was not only was it a rough start, you overcame it, but it was a rough start that people were saying you shouldn't have been in the first place. Yeah. But I wanted to go back real quick because I found, I pulled him up.
All right, what's up?
Crazy draft class that he was a part of. I don't know if we can count Nick Bosa at DN, but he went number 2 overall.
Okay.
And then you had Quinnen Williams at 3.
What year was this?
This was the 2019 draft.
2019 draft.
Yeah,
Okay.
Quentin Williams at 3, Clelin Ferrell at 4.
Okay.
At 9, you had Ed Oliver. At 12, you got
Man.
Rashawn Gary. At 13, you got Christian Wilkins. At 17, you got Dexter Lawrence. And then 19, you got Jeffrey Simmons.
That
Like
class
that's
has some
and
beasts.
that's all the first round. You still got
Yo.
guys like Montez Sweat. That rounded out.
All them
that
guys you
first
just
round.
named is straight monsters.
Beast, bro. Like all, like I think the worst of that group was probably like Clelin Ferrell, and Clelin Ferrell kind of bounced back a bit towards the the back end of his career. But like all
Dexter, Rashawn, that's great.
like so it's notable that class is there, still going strong. That's the same class that brought us an amazing QB draft class too. That's the same class that gave us Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, and Sam Darnold. I mean, everybody slept on Sam Darnold, but he's your reigning NFL champ.
Right.
The only real dud from that class was Josh Rosen. But yeah, so amazing to see. Shout out to Jeffrey Simmons again. That 2019 draft class in general, though, is going to go down as like one of the best, at least of this decade, of this century, this millennium. Like that was a big one.
That's what's up. All right, let's move on to MLB. Orioles, they beat the Dodgers.
Yes,
they won
sir.
the series.
Yeah, won the series 2-3. I mean 2-1.
2-1. Yeah,
so 1 2 out of 3.
Yes. So they lost Friday.
The first one.
It was a close game. They lost by 1 run.
Nearly won it.
Won Saturday by 1 run.
Yep, and then you see on the graphic on the screen here they put the belt to the booty.
Yes, and I mean
on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean
a 12-1 win on Father's Day. My grandfather was very pleased.
I bet he was.
Good Father's Day for him. Yep.
I mean,
win.
I didn't see the whole game, but when I saw the score, I was like, "What? 12-1?" Like I was like, and then I watched the highlights. I mean, Blaze. I mean, everybody was just going crazy, man. It was we talked off camera, man. If O's can keep this consistency up, they can definitely put some more wins on the board if they can keep this type of consistency up. I mean, and keep playing like this.
The problem is that that's a big if. And like I told you off camera, that's been like the issue for the O's this decade, like just inconsistent play. I mean, probably in the last 2 decades at this point, just inconsistent play, inconsistent play. And at this point, it gets really frustrating because like these rosters that we've had over the last couple of years, minus pitching, are, arguably the best rosters we've had in decades.
Yes.
And it's like, so to waste and squander these opportunities at this point, especially playing the same type of baseball, is kind of a tough pill to swallow. So, they got to put out a better, more consistent product for the fans.
Right. Yeah, we definitely got to work on our defense. Got to play defense. Got to close out games better. But hey, we could do it. We could be.
It's possible.
It's definitely possible.
The Orioles magic is there. They just got to use it. They got to tap into it.
You see, I got my magic shirt on. Got the magic shirt on. Create some magic. All right. Let's move on to our spotlight moment. Shout out to Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, KP.
KP. This is big news for him. If y'all don't know, Kendrick Perkins, NBA champion.
Yes, sir. With the Boston Celtics, 2008.
All-star. Right. He's gonna be general manager at Jackson State University, which is an HBCU.
The same one where Prime and
his
Shador Sanders got their start. So Jackson State University, big move for Kendrick Perkins, and I think that the deal also includes some kind of role in the broadcasting and marketing side of Jackson State too. Yeah. So he's going to be on like kind of still in that same vein as like a sports analyst, radio personality type, TV personality type thing, while also being the general manager of their basketball operations. So, like you said, shout out to KP.
Yeah, shout out to KP.
Hopefully,
man.
big things come for that for you. Wishing you nothing but success and prosperity there, man.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. All right, so we actually brought back a segment that we used to do a long time ago when we started the show, and we're gonna bring it back because I feel like we missed so many historic moments in sports. 88 years ago today, Joe Louis had the historic KO of Max Schmeling. This was the fastest knockout. It was 2 minutes and 4 seconds in the first round. And this was a rematch. Lewis did lose the first fight, but he came back the second fight and said, you know what? I'm going to give you that business. And he did it in 2 minutes and 4 seconds to retain his heavyweight title. So on this day in history, that's who we got.
That's a good one. I like that.
Right. All right. That was our sports history moment.
Yeah, today in sports.
Today in sports. Okay, so we're gonna get into the fashion, but before we do, we did poll results for the best signature shoe. So we had Sabrina, God, I can't pronounce her name. Ionescu, Asia Wilson, and Caitlin Clark with their signature shoes. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and show the signature shoes, and then we'll go ahead and give the results after. So this is Sabrina's right here. Not bad.
I like the design.
Those are the Asias.
Yeah, I like Asia's designs as well too. I feel like it's hard to be unique as a shoe these days. Wow.
Now those are the KDs, but it's cool. Those are the purple stuffs. Those are nice. Those are nice.
Yeah, I might gotta invest in those. Yeah. I like me some purple.
We got there they go to Caitlin's. That's the Caitlin. So those are the Caitlins, which aren't bad. I mean, those are all three nice colorways. So
sure.
The results, and I did this poll Friday, so we gave y'all a lot of time to vote. So the results are 12% pick Sabrina, 75% pick Asia Wilson, and 12 pick Caitlin Clark. So Asia won that.
Man, you could have set that up better. You were supposed to say the winner last. She said 12, 75%, 12%. Like, oh yeah, I mean, how much percent was she going to get? Once Asia got 75.
You already
I did like that Asia. That Asia one.
Yeah.
That pink colorway there is nice, man.
Yeah. Those right that we were showing before, the purple stuff and the KD bubblegum, those are his new colorways.
Okay. KD 19.
Those
my goodness.
Yeah, those are crazy. Bubblegum bounce.
KD 19.
How you feel about those?
I like the vibrant colors.
Okay.
I've never been one to shy away from the color pink. You know, I'm comfortable enough in my masculinity to not mind rocking some pink. So I like them. I think they're vibrant, bright pink. I know the ladies would like them. It's a nice shade of pink.
Yeah.
I know my lady would like them.
Yeah. The purple ones are crazy.
She's not even big on that kind of shoe, but it's that shade of pink. So I think that's something that could work for all all consumers. All people, all walks of life could find their fit in those kind of shoes, because it's like I said, it's a bright and vibrant enough pink that it can be a statement piece for a man, but still a beautiful and sought after, highly desired thing for a woman as well.
Right.
So yeah, shout out to Asia, shout out to KD, and then shout out to Sabrina and Caitlin too,
They all got nice, amazing shoes, and I mean, a lot of fans. I mean, they got tons of fans. So I mean, I'm sure their shoes selling. Yeah. I
used to love me a KD, man. KD had some good shoes back in the day. I had a few KDs.
Yeah.
KD sevens, the sevens were good, I think, and there was another one, maybe just the fives or the sixes. Yeah. But those early KDs, man, KD had some good shoes.
Yeah, very unique silhouettes.
Yeah. He used to really have some unique shoes.
Yep. All right. SGA, speaking of shoes, SGA joined Nike.
Yeah, left the Converse family and joined the juggernaut that is Nike.
Oh man,
crazy news.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, his shoe, actually, you can't really tell what it is just because it just looks like really futuristic. But it is a Converse, but he's switching over to Nike. And
and then people liked his Converse shoe too. So it's like, I don't know. It must have been that Nike money, man.
Right.
Nike must, especially coming off the back-to-back MVPs, like Nike probably had a nice check sitting there for him. And I guess I can't blame him for that. I mean, Nike, with all their troubles, they are still able to put out a pretty, superior product.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think it's a bad choice per se. I always recommend going with Nike versus Jordan Brand specifically, because I feel like Jordan Brand, they be doing Jordan Brand athletes dirty. Like that Jordan, I don't know if I've seen a good Jordan Brand athlete shoe. Like, Jordan Brand don't be doing it. But Nike got some good ones. Like I said, you got Braun, especially those early Brauns, the KDs, Kobe's, of course, Jordan himself. Even though it became its own brand, it started as a Nike shoe. So, like, Nike is their name ring out, and their product speak for itself.
Definitely. All right, y'all. So that was the fashion segment. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here, but before we do, we have those results from the 2016 Cavs versus the 2026 Knicks. So I kind of just think this is a no-brainer. If you a true fan of basketball and these players and the squads, you would have picked the Cavs. So
Yeah, I just don't see how
Cavs won that 86% to 14%. So
fair.
Yeah,
No surprise there. I just,
right. I bet that
best player in
14.
the world.
I bet you that 14% was Knicks fan.
Now, what I will say is, what I will give them is that the Knicks did just play and win against the best player in the world.
Yeah,
but and even as unique as he is, he's young.
Yeah,
It's kind of like you said on a previous show. It's similar to the Spurs beating Braun early on in Cavs, with the Cavs, you know.
Yep.
But this version of Braun, best player in the world, is different than this version of Wemby, best player in the world, because you're talking about a Braun fully in his prime, fully coming off experiences of some humbling losses in finals before. And you saw the product. I mean, you saw the 3-1 comeback. So, I just don't think. I think that would have been a bit too insurmountable. And mind you, this is a Knicks team that, even though they won, were comfortably losing pretty much every game of this series. So, like
75 over 70 something percent.
It's really only the youth and inexperience of Wemby and the Spurs that lost them this game. In this series. So I gotta say that, all in all, given all that, like you said, is a no-brainer that the 2016 Cavs, maybe even comfortably win that series. Like Knicks in 5, Cavs in 5.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate everybody who participated in the polls, and we're gonna do more fun stuff like that more often, man. That was fun, and the fans enjoyed it. I enjoyed that. The viewers enjoyed it, and I appreciate y'all staying locked in with Bmore Sports Talk. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. But before we do, we're gonna get them shout outs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As always, shout out to the Most High who makes all this possible for me and mine. Thankful to my Lord and Savior. Thankful to my people, for my team here at BmorePod for welcoming me in and being so supportive and so open to my ideas and my energy. So shout out to y'all. Thank you all, for this opportunity. I look forward to be able to be in this position with you for Mondays to come and to see where we can take this thing, man. Bmore Sports Pod talk to the limit, man. So shout out to y'all for that. Shout out to our people behind the camera, behind the scenes that make all this go, because even though I went to school for broadcast journalism, the one thing I hated was the behind the camera. So I appreciate my people behind the camera for allowing me to do what I do in front of the camera. Because it's not my cup of tea. Y'all are amazing people and should be treated as such, because the service that y'all provide and the manner in which that y'all provided is not something to scoff at. So as always, thank you to my people behind the camera. Shout out to y'all, and then to my family and loved ones, to my lady, to my little girl, to my parents, to all my loved ones that keep me going, keep me grounded, and keep me inspired. So shout out to them as always, and shout out to y'all, the viewers, for having this not be an empty echo chamber that we're talking into. Without y'all, there is no us. So again, as always, thank you.
That's true. Thank you, Trey. I like to thank the Most High. Without God, none of this is possible. Thank you to the production team. I'd like to thank my co-host Trey, man. I look forward to having you, and I look forward to a future of some good shows, good material, and just giving these fans and viewers a wonderful show, as we do always. Shout out to the family, shout out to wifey, shout out to my mom, shout out to my father-in-law, shout out to my sisters, my cousins, all my fam out there. It's too much of y'all to name, but y'all know who y'all is. I love y'all all. Shout out to viewers, shout out to guests. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. With that being said, we'll be back next week with another show for you. Y'all be safe out there, and
hopefully a celebration of y'all joining the Boston Celtics.
Oh man, we're gonna be talking some NBA draft next week. So y'all have a good night. Peace, love, and blessings. See y'all next week.